Outgoing French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu, who intensified a political crisis by resigning earlier this week, said on the Wednesday that he expected the President Emmanuel Macron to name a new premier within the next 48 hours. Also, I feel that the path is possible. Lecornu told the French television that I think that the situation allows the president to name a prime minister in the next 48 hours, he said, adding that he was not running after the job. Also, Lecornu's comments on the France's second public television had also been eagerly awaited after the Macron gave him until Wednesday evening to find a way out of months of the deadlock over an austerity budget. Also, Emmanuel Macron had been left with the options of reappointing Lecornu or naming the eighth premier of his increasingly troubled mandate, calling snap legislative elections, or even resigning himself. In comments indicating that naming a new premier was now the most likely outcome, Lecornu said that he had told the Macron that the prospects for the snap legislative elections had receded and there was a majority in the lower house of the parliament against being dissolved. After the former premier, that is Edouard Philippe, and also he saying that the Macron himself should step down and call the snap presidential polls, Lecornu insisted the president should serve out his mandate until 2027. It was not the time to change the president, Lecornu said, adding, let's not make the French believe that the president who votes the budget is failed. Mission finished. Suggesting that a more technocratic government could be named, Lecornu said that the people in the new cabinet should not have ambitions to stand in the 2027 presidential elections. The situation is already difficult enough. We need a team that decides to roll up its sleeves and solve the country's problems until the presidential elections, he said. He added a path should be found to open a debate on the lowering of the pension age. Also, the most contentious issue is the pension age, the domestic reform of the Macron's mandate, but also warned any suspension that would cost at least 3 billion euros, that is $3.5 billion in 2027. The Education Minister, Elizabeth Borne, was also the premier at the time the reform was forced through the parliament without a vote, had called for it to be suspended. Lecornu offered no clue over who the next premier would be, but indicated that he would not be reappointed. I tried everything. This evening my mission is finished, he said. He added a new budget could be presented to the cabinet on the Monday. But it would not be perfect and there would be a lot of debate, he cautioned.